Loads of us yard and one hand. Then it's to the side, hold to the goat, then it's open up the holy cedar. Cast be upon any, or to restore this holy work of the gods, wherever on this ground. I ask you, whites, to fare away. Any who hear, be warned. The gods will draw nigh. This land is taken for holy cedar. Fire I carry around this hearth. All you fellows keep this faith. Fire I carry for early on. Harry and Grenville drink this flight. The north way all, the north way all, the north way all. This our heart. Put in your spears, I am your bane. You will know my your name. The north way all, the north way all, the north way all. This our heart. Now, it's offering of holy mead. And this time of the year, it's a blood sacrifice. Bloat meaning blood or sacrifice. Obviously we're not sacrificing animals these days. So the blood. In the name of the High Thunderer, in your name, let this libation be hallowed. Norway, Norway, Norway. We ask, Lord, Almighty, to grant us victories in our daily lives. We ask from our grant us the strength to claim said victories. We ask, Lord Ingrid, please grant us thrift in our inn yard, in our society, enclosed in mutual bonds and kinship and give. Hail our gods and goodness. Let's him. Let's him. Let's him.
How do you see it?
El Warden! Start this bloke. Welcome to today's bloke with our Anglican Vincedar Fellowship. Alkis half. We have come at the block enough in the month of sacrifice. And burnt offerings were made a long held view of the Anglican. Today put forward by Anglican Vincedar founder and Hildebrand here, Leah Fitch Ingwing, to celebrate guthrecablot, the bloke to our war heroes. It's their bloke, honouring the warlike gods of Ossiard. We honour Baldur, the fair-faced son of Warden and Fleek, and our worthy Frecker, Cunning Penda of Mercia, one of the last great heathen kings of the English, hence the flag of the Mercians. Also, we honour our own forces, those great warriors that have fought and died for our great country, and to those still serving today, we bid wassail. Lutmanoth was once a time of the cold. Our ancestors would wait until the turn in the weather. The first prolonged chill would once have fallen in this month. With that came sacrifice. Pigs and cows would be slaughtered. And the cold ensured that there would be a bounty would last and keep through the winter, or at least long enough to be preserved. They would be offered up to the gods as a sacrifice, and our ancestors would share that at least in thanksgiving for their blessings. We the people who have not forgotten the gods and the whites honour them, so that through our sacrifices they may come to good. Today is a day of remembrance for what we have received. We're thankful, friends, for the gods do smile upon us. We remember the old ways, we hold their blessings upon our lives. Let us first hail the great gods of the Essia. Repeat after me, please. Hail Chew! Hail Warden! Hail Tunor! Hail Saknat! Hail Wuldor! Hail Balda! Hail Twisco! Hail Manus! Hail Alkis! Hail Alisiage! Hail Forsyth! Hail Wada! El Wayland, El Edgin, El Hammer, El Gasser. Now, I've got to do a few readings. We'll start with a prayer to the All-Father. Open in order. Prayer to our All-Father. O mender of bone and sinew and blood, furious and ever hungry, that is bane, great Noah, high leech, wreathed in smoke, sharp-eyed and sharp-speared, broad-minded, bringer of knowledge and ecstasy, and things hidden, O Woden, O death god, O Shedu, cunning, steer my word so that I might do goodly things, and my hand in its work and craft. O Henepts, reap do I wander, O worlds unseen and countless, forthwise by your hand, as your voice calls from darkness, imbued with your spirit, and with your wisdom and your lust for knowing. Look upon me and mine with favour, look us no health and well-being. Stave off here and weir, and see their poison driven out by the edge of your God. Let them know well your madness, your fury, and the gnashing hounds at their heels. O Woden, O Wanderer, O Thel Rithra, unquenchable, indistinguishable, desolator, please accept these gifts, these humble it may be, a gift for a gift, a day's gate and I give, may it please. May it find you well, and may you continue to smile upon our hearth, home and Hannah. Hail, O Father Warden! Now I'll say a prayer to, Saxon War Song, written by Sir Walter Scott. I don't know if you know it, but I thought it was appropriate for guthrecablot. White the bright steel, sons of the white dragon, kindle the torch, daughter of Hengist. The steel glimmers not for the carving of the banquet. It is hard, broad, and sharply pointed. The torch goeth not to be the bridal chamber. It steams and glitters blue with sulphur. Whet the steel, the raven croaks. Light the torch, and her is yelling. Whet the steel, sons of the dragon. Kindle the torch. Daughter of Hengist, the black cloud is low. O'er the fanes, the castle, the eagle screams. He rides on its bosom. Scream not, grey rider of the sable cloud. The banquet is prepared. The maidens of the hall of the slain look forth. The race of Hengist will send them guests. Shake your black tresses, maidens of the great halls, and strike your loud timbrels for joy. Many a haughty step bends to your halls, many a helmed head. Dark sits the evening upon the Thane's castle. The black clouds gather round. Soon shall they be red as the blood of the valiant. The destroyer of forests shall shake his red crest against them. He is the bright consumer of palaces, broad waves. He is blazing banner, red, white, and dusky. Over the strife of the valiant, the joy is the clashing swords. Broken bucklers, he loves to lick the hissing blood as it bursts warm from the wound. All must perish, the sword cleaveth the helmet. The strong armour is pierced by the lance. Fire devoureth, the defileth of the princes. Engines break down, the fences of battle, all must perish. The race of Hengist is gone, the name of Horsa is no more. Shrink not then from your doom. Sons of the sword, let your blades drink blood, like wine. Feast ye in the banquet of slaughter, by the light of the blazing halls. Strong be your swords, while your blood is warm, and spare neither pity nor fear nor vengeance have but an hour. Strong hate itself shall expire. I also must perish. Now let's say a prayer to the son of Woden, Baldur in Norse. Sorry. Prayer to Baldur. O son of ever watchful Woden, Baldur, best of gods, I call upon you with an open heart. I pray to you with open eyes. Son of fair Freak, who sought your safekeeping, who gathered up pledges like flowers in spring, who begged for salt tears. Throughout the world, the mother's love wielded with skill, yet in vain. Baldur, the most beautiful, bright, shining gold. There are no worlds to tell of your glory. There is no being who burns with your fire. Yours is a tale of many turns, of what must be and of what must end, of well-plotted plans and of ill-begotten good. O Baldur dwells among the dead, holder of your father's secrets, hidden hope of all that is. I honour your story. I honour your might. I honour the worlds in which you walk. Hail to God, Baldur, great God of the light. Hail Baldur. Right, one more reading from, as it's guthrecablot, lest we forget, obviously we don't forget our great people that fought for this country and people still serve this country. Lest we forget, shall we ever forget, when the boys marched away to fight for their king and their home. With a smile on their lips and their faces aglow, and no thoughts of danger to keep. Shall we ever forget their whistle and shout, their songs and their laughter and fun? To them 'twas a joke and a spree and a laugh, till they came face to face with the Hun. Shall we ever forget when they took up their place in the trenches so muddy and cold? When bully and biscuit was dinner and tea, but their spirits were brave and still bold. Shall we ever forget when the news arrived, home, that a loved one had fallen out there? The sun seemed to set and the birds ceased to sing, and the future loomed dark with despair. Shall we ever forget when peace was declared and the nation went mad with delight? Yet for many who said no homecoming for them, so they joined in the shouts with their might. Shall we ever forget the glorious dead, who freely gave all they could give? No, in marble and granite, still more in our hearts. We will praise them as long as we live. And now we come to the toast, the sambal. Let's put my paperwork in order. We're not passing the horn today for obvious reasons, so we'll fill up with libation that we have. Norway all, Norway all, Norway all. First I toast the high gods, Ossiard and Monaghan. Hail the great gods!
How do you see it?
Hail, what's that? All of my ancestors that fought the battle, all of them. What's that?
Now the gods that have brought us here to this day, at this place, let us be mindful that they whisper to us, and their words are mountains, their words are magnificent. Let us take their whisperings, take them to heart, lead our lives as our gods inspire us. To the gods, I say, hail. I say, hail.
Out to the gods. Out to our kindred, out to our cattle, out to the huntsmen. Keep us in together, keep the wolf from the door. Of the gods.
Now I'd like to hail my grandfather and my uncle, Martin Gerald. My grandfather was born in 1913, died in 1998. Joined the Great War, the Second World War, sorry. He was basically military policeman, and he's done his bit, and he's a man that I would always look up to, a strong man. And also my uncle Jerry in the 50s, who was in the parachute regiment, and they are two of my forebears I will always admire and respect. So myself. I don't think I need to say help, don't worry. Oh, what's up?
To all the people that fought the wars, I don't know, that aren't in my bloodline, but hail to them also.
What's up?
What's that?
Upon this land we stand, that has been added to by our ancestors. Let us not forget their lives. Let our actions here today honour them and redden their memory. Let them be amongst us in spirit. And let us go forwards with our actions to honour them and not give them any reason to be upset by what we do. We are a reflection of what they were, and I hailed them.
So, Dave?
To honour the gods and our rights to be, may us be protected by the ones that honour us and we honour them. Our love and our protection is always with the gods and from the honour. Held to the gods, held to the Asir.
Our last reading, we'd like to read out Pendy of Mercia was one of our last great heathen kings. We're reading Penda was one of the last heathen king of the Mercian English. He was a great Guthrecan war hero, great Triton ruler. It has been suggested by some that he may not have been born by most affluent of stock, but may have earned his stripes as sacred king through battle and valour, and the Marsong of the daring deeds he made. He appeared to have been relatively unchallenged for his kingship within Mercia, given the time which he lived. At a time when Christianity was entering many regal courts in England, leading to the fusion of Germanic and heathenism with Roman Christianity, Penda was a staunch heathen and consigliere. Part of his aims, in his wars against the Northumbrians and kingdoms in the south, English, seem to have been to rid the Anglo-Saxon lands of Christianity, or at least to curtail its growing influence. It is likely that heathens in non-Mercian lands flocked to him, as he seemed to be favoured by Walden and the Valkyrian, for he fought many battles, some against great odds, and yet he prevailed victorious. As an Angle king and as one victorious on the battlefield, he no doubt was rightfully seen as an heir to Ingwe, as one heir of God, who was kingly forebear to the Angle English, where Saxoniot was to the Saxon English, especially amongst the East Saxons. Angle warriors are known to have worn boar heads on their helmets and armour where they could afford to, seeing the boar as an animal of Ingwe and one which is notoriously hard to kill. And thus, on the battlefield, such an emblem to our forebears would mark them out as favoured Ingwine. Under the protection of Lord Ingwe, the Wine gods, particularly Ingwe and his sister Frior, are known to use Seder in Old Norse. Further shows the power they have over death and partly why our warrior heathen forebears were emblems associated with them. Penda's chief foe and obstacle in his claim to being Bretwalda was Northumbria, which at various times in Anglo-Saxon history was a military juggernaut, while Northumbria had rivalled its rulers in Kent for the emerging influence of Christianity in English lands. Kent, however, was far inferior militarily to Northumbria and Mercia. Taking on Northumbria, which meant those English north of the Humber River, was no small feat. Yet Penda was no brute lacking intellect. Knowing the strength of the Northumbrians, he used the Welsh kingdom of Gwynedd, whose rulers held grievance over Northumbria, for a series of military defeats and losses of lands to them. Gwynedd vied with other petty Welsh kingdoms of the time for power over those in Wales. Wales at the time was a patchwork of petty kingdoms, which regularly warred with each other. The Earls in Ireland, the Britons, and of course the English. Penda, in alliance with Gwynedd, offered him Mercia, a useful ally against Northumberland juggernaut, while to Gwynedd the alliance offered them a chance at revenge, prestige, and the hope of building power to take back, and then perhaps all, of Lurgan, which is an old Welsh word and refers to the land that their Romano Britons forebears lost to the English. The rhetorical and political ecstasy concerning the issue of Lurgia fueled Gwynedd foreign policy for hundreds of years. The Mercian-Gwynedd alliance against Northumbria was thus born, and we would call the realpolitik, which is a system Penda was politics or decisions taken based on practical considerations, as opposed to moral, ideological or ethnic racial ones. The Mercian English and the petty kingdom of the Welsh were nearly always hostile foes, except occasionally when realpolitik made temporary alliances beneficial for both. Penda defeated Northumbria and became the most powerful ruler in the British Isles. He also drove out the West Saxon king and gained fealty and tribute from the other English kings, all of which led to a Mercian supremacy. It has been expertly theorised by Martin Wall that the Staffordshire hoard was Penda's treasure, which consisted of gifts given to him by other kings in Britain and Europe, gifts from his aldermen, and of course treasure which was raided from Northumbria and other English kingdoms during his raids and wars against them. Penda was slain in battle in Wakefield against Oswald, king of Northumbria, never having renounced the heathen faith. As in other battles, he was perhaps spurred on by the protection assumed to be offered by England. Although in his battle in the Wakefield, bloodthirsty choosers of the slain took Penda off the battlefield to the Hall of the Slain, it is thought that before his death, Penda stashed away his vast hoard of treasure he had collected over the years by burying it in Mercian ground. The fact that it remained there for such a long time implies that all of those who knew about it were killed, like in the Battle of Wakefield. Penda Cunning, the heathen, saw other Anglo-Saxon states as ally against him. Penda died on the battlefield with his head being cut off. In life, he lived as a son of Inwe, but on his death became a son of Wodan and a brother of Balde as he ascended to the great Hall of the Slain, perhaps the great war god, and now has him within his army's battle, ready to fight against Eotonas and Wirmas. He remembered Penda, our worthy Frekar, for he was one of our last heathen kings, and as he so exemplified Hoshipe to the Ferensida and other Athel women such as Marsong, Faran and Earnest. Penda killed the Christian kings Edwin, Oswald, Oswin, Ekrik and Sigebert before dying at the Battle of Windward in 6555 ACAD. True worthy Frekar. Hail King Penda, Mercia. So,
Out of the God of England, King of England with the people of England, informed who we are, and we will to his word.
yes, sir.
Almo Kylie, may you inspire the Ruth Theatre with us all. Hail.
Out to the north, guys. Out to the SEM. Out to the protection.
The High Thunderer. His bloke is ended. Tel Warden, Leodish Os. Tel Henkiston Horsa, Leodish Faderes. Thank you everyone for coming, and may the gospel be with you. Drink hail!
Hey!